So we will be starting our session in 5 minutes. If you guys have any doubts regarding the previous session, you may put it up in the chat box or ask. So I welcome every one of you to the final day of this webinar series. I welcome our speaker, Sleety George, to continue with the session.
Good evening, everyone. I think previous session there was a lot of technical difficulties, so we couldn't clear a lot. Is my voice okay? You guys, is it lagging? Just let me know in the comment section.
It's audible.
Yes, okay. So there was a lot of technical difficulties last time because the hack. Whenever you go to hack the box, okay, whenever you use the servers and all that stuff, there's going to be a lot of traffic, and it depends on your network connection. So since I didn't have a good network connection, or maybe the traffic was high within that period of time in hack the box, I couldn't connect. But then today we'll be continuing the topics, the rooms which I intended to do previous time. Plus, I'll be adding a bit of terminologies, which is like very common when it comes to like computer networks. Okay, you should know as a hacker what is going on within the system and within the networks. Okay, so if you're a computer science student, you guys might have heard of a thing called the OSI model. Just somebody respond by saying yes in the comment section if you guys heard of an OSI model. No. Okay. So basic networks always follow a thing called the OSI model. So, one sec. I'll just be present with this. Give me a second. Okay. We'll be finishing the Linux commands. Okay. We'll just remember what all the Linux commands I told you last time. mkdir to create a new folder within a directory. rmdir to remove an empty folder within a directory. rmrf to remove a non-empty folder within the current directory. cd is to open a folder. ls is to view file names within the current directory. pwd is to check the current working directory. rm is to remove a file. cat, nano, vim, vi. These are used to edit or read the contents of file. Okay, and like last time I told, wget or get is used to download a file within the directory or remote directory. Okay, now let's go back to what I told before. What is the OSI model? Okay, give me a second. Let me just present this. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. This is just a notepad. The OSI model has 7 layers. Okay, the first layer is a physical layer. The second layer is a data link layer. The third layer is a network layer. The fourth layer is a transport layer. The fifth layer is a session layer. I'll just be explaining all these separately. I'll just list it down right now. Session layer. The sixth one is a presentation layer. The seventh one is the final, the application layer. Okay. So whenever you use a computer network, the basic computer networks, that means the earlier computer networks, all used to follow the OSI model. Okay. Right now you might see the TCP/IP model, or you might see the ARPA model. Okay. But the base model of which everything is derived from is called the OSI model. Physical layer is a layer between where the packets of raw data, okay, that means from the initial source, which can be raw, just a raw message or data, is converted to digital signals. Okay. The second thing, which is called data link layer, this data is represented as a frame. All right. In a network layer, this data are collectively called as packets. Your transport layer, basically, in this layer, it transports these packets to a session layer in the form of a thing called the frames or segments. Okay. After the session layer, all these packets need to be encrypted before it goes to the the final layer or the server or whatever endpoint is there. Okay, to receiver. In the presentation layer, basically all your data packets will be encrypted and it will be gone to the application layer, which is your final and last layer. Okay. Now, when you guys might have tried hack the box, you guys might have faced the term called UDP and TCP. Okay, UDP and TCP are two protocols which has a basic computer networks, or any computer science engineer, or any, like, if you want to get into learning networks, which is essential for hacking, you need to know what is a UDP and what is a TCP. Okay, a TCP is called transmission control protocol. Okay, a transmission control protocol, there's a sender and a receiver. Okay, you cannot transmit data protocols unless and until there's a socket or there's a connection established between them. Okay, so a connection should be established between them. Okay, now the advantage of a TCP layer is that always the data will always go from the sender to receiver, and it will go to the correct receiver. That means whoever the data packet is intended to, it will go correctly to that. It will allow secure network lines. Okay, so I'll say successful transmission of packet to the intended receiver. It'll be a kind of boring, not be a boring session, but I just want to make sure you guys know this kind of terms, because when it comes to hacking and all, you just need to know a lot of theory also. Okay, this will transmission of packet to the intended receiver. Okay, then there's going to be encryption, or there will be a more security when it comes to TCP. Okay, the third thing is that it will be slower. Since there is encryption and security, the transmission of data packets from a sender to receiver will be slower. TCP will be constant, it will be a strong connection, but it will be a slower connection. Okay, so it will make it very reliable. When it comes to UDP, in TCP, basically, data is represented like a stream of bits. Okay, so that's also the difference between TCP and UDP. The data is represented as a stream. That means there's a continuous flow between sender and receiver, okay, of data packets. And in UDP, it's actually called user datagram protocol. The reason why this protocol is given the word datagram is because in the first case, in TCP, the data is represented as a stream. In UDP, basically your data is represented as a datagram. Okay, a datagram is basically like a packet, and unlike TCP, there's never a connection between there's no physical connection between the sender and receiver. Okay, those datagrams or the packets will have the source address and the receiver address. Okay, so it'll just be a connectionless service. So it'll be like any wireless connection. Okay, so it'll be a connectionless service. Okay, and it'll include the source address and the receiver address. Now, since it's a wireless connection, okay, it'll be very, very insecure. Okay, it'll not be secure at all. It'll be insecure. Okay, since it doesn't have that encryption security, and it consists of like a flow of datagrams. Okay, it will be faster, and then it will not be constant. It will not be constant or reliable. That is, it is not 100% sure whether the data sent from a sender will reach a receiver. In TCP, it is 100% possibility that this data sent from a sender will be sent to a receiver. In UDP, there's no 100% possibility that the data sent from the sender will reach the receiver. Okay, these are the two protocols we'll be using today. And the third thing is, when we come to the rooms, okay, there's going to be a thing called file transfer protocol. And that's the room which we're going to do today. Okay. So basically, we'll access a remote device or a computer. Okay, and we'll try to access a file from the remote computer from the IP which we are given, and we'll download that file into our own system undetected. So basically, what hackers do is they scan those ports. So I'll tell you what file transfer protocol is. First, file transfer protocol is you're basically sending or receiving a file from your host to a target computer. Okay, so that means it's transmission of a file. The file, and it uses a port called port 21. These port numbers are kind of important. Okay, as a cybersecurity intel, like you should know, like there'll be port numbers. Okay, there'll be port number 21, there'll be port number 23. Okay, there'll be port number 20. Port number 20 to 21 is FTP, but secure FTP is always, most of the FTP protocols run on 21, port number 21. Secure shell host will SSH will always run on port number 23. All these ports you should remember. Okay, there's UDP ports, there's FTP ports, there's TCP ports, SMTP ports. So all these ports are important. Okay, for the time being, I'll just tell you what is UDP, TCP, FTP. Okay, and then let's go to the room. Okay. I hope you guys have no doubts with this. To just confirm. Is this all clear? Is my voice okay? Is what I've taught you till now clear? Because it's going to be a pretty short session if you guys are interactive. Are you guys clear? Okay, cool. So I'll be going back to my TryHackMe. Okay, I'll go back to my virtual box. Let me present the screen first. Give me a second. Are you guys cool? You guys can see this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, before we start all this, okay, when I first told you guys something, I'll just open this up for you guys. Okay. Then okay. Okay. So when I told you guys the phase of hacking, the first phase of hacking is reconnaissance. Okay, this is basically data gathering. And the previous session, I told you guys using BSSID, okay, using social media, using Google Docking, how you can find a person's details from social engineering, and from an image also how can you find detailed information using metadata. Okay, so we are done with the first one, which is reconnaissance, that data gathering. Okay, now second is scanning. Whenever you do scanning, okay, scanning is such an important thing because whenever you get into a network, you need to find out what are the ports which are open and what are the ports which are closed. The ports which are closed can only be opened from the inside, if it makes sense. Okay, you cannot go into those ports that are closed. So basically, you should scan into a network wherever this network is open. So we're going to use a function called Nmap. It's a computer network tool. It's a cybersecurity tool for mapping the network nodes, the network ports within a collective network between the sender and the receiver. So basically, we are making a network map between our host machine and the target machine. The host machine is the machine which we are using right now. The target machine is the machine we need to attack. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to do Nmap, and we're going to add the IP address which is given of the attack machine. This is syntax. The code is Nmap. Can you guys see the text properly, or should I make it bigger? Is the text fine, or should I make it bigger? Am I audible? Am I audible in the room?
Yes, this is okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Nmap, the syntax is Nmap an IP address of the attack machine. Okay, I'll just, whenever you go into a new tool, make sure what you do is you do Nmap, which is a tool we are going to use. Okay, then double hyphen help, because this will tell you using what all modules or interfaces we can do, what all functions we can do using a tool. Okay, so always make sure that you read this, because it will be, all these functions will be useful to you in different circumstances. Okay, whenever you want to scan a particular port, you basically use the function. Give me a second. Yeah, so whenever you want to scan a port, basically you do is nmap, okay, hyphen p hyphen, and again the IP address. Okay, now if you want to find out the target machine runs on which OS, basically you use nmap hyphen capital O and the IP address. Okay, now if you want to check what service does this does the target machine run, okay, so what you should do is nmap SV, which is basically the software version, server version, port version of the machine. So nmap SV IP address. Now, if you want all of this together, okay, Nmap is so convenient for you. Has a cybersecurity analyst, has a cybersecurity engineer has itself. Anywhere, whenever you go for attacking a machine, there's such an important phase. Okay, no one will go and attack system without doing scanning. Scanning is such an important thing because you need to find the holes from which you can enter the network. Okay, you won't rob a house without knowing how to enter the house, right? If you should figure out how much windows are there, how much doors are there, okay, whether that door will be closed, whether that door will be open. If the door will be open, I can go inside. The door will be closed, basically you can't go inside, okay, unless you crack it. But that's what scanning does. Basically, when you attack a system, okay, you find the surrounding. That is called reconnaissance. Okay, you figure out, will the gatekeeper be there, will the security be there, okay, then what is the info of the house. Then when scanning comes, you basically check whether the points of entry is open or closed. Okay, that's windows, doors, whether it's open or closed. That's called ports. Ports are the nodes between a network, okay, from the sender and the receiver, where the sender is basically your host machine, the receiver is a target machine. Okay, now if you want to do a big scan of the entire ports, you should basically use nmap hyphen S capital C, the IP address. Okay. Now, after doing this, like I told you, you can use all these functions together. Okay. /p, this. You can use all this together. Okay, it's fine. It's really fine to use. And then again, the IP address. Am I going too fast with this? Just let me know, okay, if I'm going too fast. Is it fine? Is the space fine? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Now there's a very important function called -a and nmap min rate by any number. Okay, number. whenever you do Nmap, usually the security team, antiviruses, nobody can actually detect it. But the thing about Nmap is that maybe some of these Nmaps will last for, if there's a lot of ports, okay, which is open, or if a company has a lot of ports for different services, usually Nmaps can last from maybe a few seconds to a few hours, or sometimes even for a few days. Okay, it depends on what protocol you use, your internet connection, the amount, the service which the attack machine runs on, the system, operating system, the service machine runs on. Okay, so these, there are lots of factors to which Nmap is timing varies, but you can make it faster. You can make it faster by using the Nmap -A, which is short for aggressive. Now, when you go to aggressive mode, all these are called modes, okay? -P, -O, -SV, -SC, and all those concatenation, and -A, and all the other one, -min rate, are all called modes, okay? These are all modes or functions of the software, okay? Which is Nmap here. Whenever you put -A, basically it's called you turning on the aggressive mode. So whenever you do the aggressive mode, the process of scanning for ports is done faster. But the disadvantage is that anybody or any antivirus will know that there is an attacker who is scanning our ports, or there's an activity going on of somebody scanning our ports. It'll be more visible to the security, what do you call it? The security division of the company, or a company's network. So in case you want to speed up the process and you want to be undetected, you can use Nmap -min -rate, and the number can be like maybe 5,000. Depends. You can do a trial error. Okay, so basically 5,000 means that there's going to be 5,000 scan lines. So, so the process of scanning of ports will be more faster. Okay, and the chance of getting detected is more less. I won't say it's 100% less, but then the chance of getting detected is way less than being gone in the aggressive mode. The thing about aggressive mode is that according to the port, it will be adaptive and it will make the process of scanning faster. In min rate, basically, you can add custom speed. So whenever you do 5,000, you're going to do 5,000 scan lines. If you put 10,000, the scanning process will be faster and it will be 10,000 scan lines. But remember, as you increase the scan lines, basically your speed increases and your chance of getting detected also increases. Okay, so you're going to compromise your entry into the system. So if possible, if the port, if you are patient, okay, hacking is not like what you see in the movies. Like if you press one command line and then everything pops out. It requires a lot of patience. Sometimes a hack scan can go for days. Okay, if you want to go in undetected, you want to come out with more information. Hack scan can go for days, maybe a few seconds also. Okay, now whenever you go and do an Nmap, okay, there's a thing called verbose. Does anyone know what a verbose is? VER. Let me just type it out. Okay, VERBOSE. Has anyone heard the word called verbose? Let me just type it on chat also in case you guys can't see it. Has anyone heard the word called verbose? I guess that means nobody has actually heard the word verbose. Verbose is basically a lot of words that describing a process. Okay, so whenever we enter a Nmap, basically we'll see the number of ports open. Okay, I'll just show you an example of how the Nmap looks like. For convenience, I just scanned before coming to the meeting so that we don't have to like look at the network and stuff. So can you guys see this? Okay, I did Nmap and the attack IP address. The attack IP address is given here when you activate the hack the box. Okay, this is the target machine IP address. Let me just zoom this up for you. Okay, you can see this is a target machine IP address generated by hack the box, and you nmap that target address, and this process will go on, and you can see port number 21 runs at TCP. Its state is open. Its service is FTP, which I told you is file transfer protocol, which is used for transmission and receiving of files between attack and host machine. Now, this is nmap and just simply the IP address. Now, if I use nmap -sv, basically what I told is that it will provide you the service info, that means service version, and the version of the port, that means what kind of port is it, like is it an FTP and what kind of FTP is it. So basically, when we did this, you can see the difference. Okay, there's service, there's a version also. Okay, there's 21 TCP open FTP VS FTPD 3.0.3, which is the version of FTP service which is provided by this attack machine. Okay, and the service info is that the OS present in this attack machine is Linux machine. Unix is basically called Linux. Okay, Unix and Linux is the same. If it's a Windows machine, instead of Unix, they'll show a Windows machine. And attacking a Windows machine is different from attacking a Unix machine. Okay. Now, whenever we find an FTP, like sometimes when we scan services, give me a second. To open this terminal again. Okay. So whenever we open for services, we get like this services. Okay. FTP, HTML, MySQL. Now, FTP, you already know what FTP is, file transfer protocol. HTML basically means that IP address has a website. Okay, so if you paste your IP address within Google, it'll make you access a website. So, what if you're given a target IP, okay, and if that IP address has an HTML type within the IP address, if one of those ports have an HTML type in the IP address, you can basically copy that IP address and it will open a website. Okay, if there is a MySQL page, basically that website or that address is a database. Now your question will be, what is a database? If you are not a computer science student, basically whenever you go into a school or college, okay, your details is updated in a database. Okay, that means your name, class, marks, roll number, all of this will be put in a single row. Okay, now there's a row and column format. Okay, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That means if there's 52 people in your class, there's going to be 52 rows. And if I say name, class, marks, roll number, there's going to be 4 columns. Okay, so it'll be a table version. Okay, so database basically is a table where you store data types. That means name will be a character data type. Class will be maybe like class 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, marks will be a data type, or it can be a decimal also. Okay, marks can be maybe 12.5, 20. 20 is an integer. 12.5 is a float or decimal type. Roll number also can be a character, or it can be just an integer. Okay, did everyone understand what this is? Is it clear for everyone? Okay, moving on. Is somebody right? Yes, okay, fine. Thank you. So now we are given, let's go back to the attack box again. Okay, now we are given an FTP. Okay, whenever we go FTP, there's a tool for scanning within FTPs. So basically, I'll tell you something. There's a tool called scanning FTPs. Basically, you just type within the command line. This is the command line. Okay, this is how the command line will look like, right? You can remember this, right? I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so there is Matty at Kali, that's my username. Okay, desktop is the current directory which is open. Basically, you see in this port, okay, this port clearly says 21 is a TCP port. The service it uses is FTP. It gives a version VS-FTPD 3.0.3. Okay. Now, if the service defines an FTP, always remember you can always open an FTP mode within that IP address. So basically, what this FTP mode does is, let's go back to Notepad again. So this FTP mode, basically, you can access the target machine. That means your target machine, the machine you want to attack, you can access their folders without being detected. In small companies, a lot of attacks happen in this way because a lot of ports of FTP are open. So basically, the attacker is given undetected access to the private folders and files of a company. So now I'll show you what actually happens. So what you have to do is you should type FTP and then you should type the IP address of the attack machine. Now, when you did FTP attack IP attack machine, they will ask you, like you're now entering into the attack machine, right? So usually there's going to be security, like they'll ask you, what is your username and password? And then sometimes they'll be like, oh, username, password, I don't have username and password. So what will I do? Don't worry, FTP comes with a tool. Basically, you can enter as a default user. Okay, that's why I told you guys FTP port should always be closed because the FTP service always offers a default username and password. So basically, the default username and password is anonymous. Okay, the username is always anonymous, and and the password of anonymous is always anything. It can be password or root. Basically, type anything, even type a space also, it will work. Okay. So username, if you want to enter the FTP mode of a company, you basically scan the Nmap. Okay. Then if it has FTP, you open the FTP mode, that is FTP IP address of the attack machine. They'll ask you the username and the password. Username will be anonymous. Password will be any character. Just type anything. Okay, it will make you go through. Now, I want one of you, like maybe unmute your mic or maybe just type in the comment box. Okay, I will give you an IP address, like a what do you call it? Like an activity. Okay, I'll just give you an IP address like 10.19.8.214. Okay, I'm putting this in the comment section. Okay, now tell me sequentially. Okay, somebody type in sequentially. What will you do until what I've told you right now? Like you check the Nmap. Okay, you find the port, then you open the FTP mode till that much. So basically, you write the Nmap line and the FTP line and the username and the password. Can somebody write that and or tell me, like by unmuting a mic? I'll just check whether you're right. Okay, it's okay if you go wrong because it's your first time. And if a few of you are cybersecurity engineers, you would already be doing this. So type as first. Okay, I'll wait for 5 minutes. Okay. I'll be adding a syntax. Okay, Nmap mode used, IP address used, then FTP IP address. Okay, then username, password. Somebody fill this fast, quickly as possible. The IP address I've already given to you. It's 10.19.8.214. Fill this as fast as possible. Remember what you need to do. You need to scan the Nmap. Remember, you have to specify the service version. That means what type of service it uses, FTP. What kind of version it uses. That means VSFTPD 3.0.3. Okay, how will you get that? By using the mode -S capital V. Give 1 more minute. Okay, I guess time is over. I'll just go ahead. Okay, because we lack a bit of time. Okay. Now you add the username anonymous. Okay, you add the password, which can be anything. Okay. Now basically what you do is, I hope I'll just highlight the thing. Okay. Basically they'll ask you your name. Okay, you added anonymous. I hope you guys can see this. 1 second. I'll zoom in more. Okay. Basically, they'll ask you your name. It's anonymous. You remember the function I given you is FTP and the IP address. Okay. They'll show you this type of sentencing. Okay. They'll give you the code that is 220, 331, 230. That's all codes of the FTP port they're going to use. Okay. Now forget about that. Username. They'll ask you. You type in anonymous. Then they'll say like, please specify the password. Password will be anything. Just put anything. It'll be a hidden password. Okay. Then they'll show you source code 230, that is login successful. The remote system type is Unix, that is Linux. Okay. Now using binary mode to transfer files. Now you get into the system undetected. Okay. Nobody can search you. You hacked into the machine. Now, as I told you, you have right now gained access. So when you come back to the phases of hacking, okay, I told you, first one is recon, second is scanning, third is gaining access, fourth is maintaining access, fifth one is covering tracks. Okay. So right now you gained access, you enter the FTP. Okay. Maintaining access usually means that now you are ready to traverse within the files. Okay. You're ready to go access the admin privileges. You're ready to open the ports. You're ready to open the files. You're ready to like download the files required. Okay. Now I'll be typing at real time. Okay. So like I told you before, the Linux commands is ls. ls is used for finding out what is the directory. Okay. To view the directory. So let's go back to this. I'll just type like how we had commands to type in the terminal. The FTP will also open a terminal, and basically you can traverse within the attack machine. So basically when I type ls, give me a second, I think it's been timed out. Okay, give me a sec. Check it first. Okay, username again anonymous. Password anything. Okay, login successful. Yeah, into the FTP server. Now again, you want to check what are the files open. So when you put ls, okay, you'll see that there's a file called flag.txt. Now I have told you guys there's a competition called catch the flag. So you basically a flag text file will be put in somewhere in the system, okay, wherever it is vulnerable, and you have to break into the target system, take the flag, bring it back to your host system, and you should open the flag where there will be a flag text, and that will make you win the game. And that's how hacking goes also. The flag text is basically user information data which you're supposed to use for commercial purposes. When you're a black hat, okay, as a white hat, basically you find out whether a person can use a system phase of hacking to get to that flag, and basically you secure it. You tell to the security team, okay, I found this way, this path through which a hacker can actually access a user's data, okay, and this is how you should secure it. So flag.txt in a commercial and economical term of how industry works is basically your data. It's basically how every user's data is kept. Okay, so now you access data. Now it's your thing. You can't just open the data. If you open the file, basically what happens is the process of reading will be put into the log of your attack machine. So to avoid triggering the security within the network, you basically just download it. Okay, just get away with it. Just download it into your target machine. Get flag.txt. If you remember, I told you guys using wget or get basically helps you download a file from a remote directory or from a remote system. Okay, so we get flag.txt. Then you will notice that a download is going on, which is a 6.59 KB per second. It's a file of 32 bytes. Okay, the transfer is complete. Now you got your file. Now you have to get out of there. You got to cover your tracks. How are you going to cover your tracks? Basically, just going to exit the FTP module and you're done. Goodbye. You're over. You hacked into the system. You got the files. You got out of the system. You're over. That's over. Now, when you go back to your system, you're back to home. Okay, you have the gold in your bag. Now you open the bag. Okay, so when you open the bag, you open the folder. ls, voila, the first thing you see is flag.txt. Flag.txt within your target file is now in your system, and you are no longer within that system, so you are out of the system as soon as possible. Nobody can find you. The gold is within your bag. You open the bag, you find the gold is there. Okay, now you want to see what is the gold. Okay, now for viewing a file, basically you can do cat, vim, vi, or nano. Okay, for convenience sake, okay, if you want to open a file in read mode, I would always recommend you guys, if it's a small file, always open it with cat. Okay, concatenation. So concatenation flag.txt. Now this flag is data, and after you get this flag, you win the match. Okay, you win the CTF match, and that's how hacking is done. I hope you guys understood like how do you attack a system, how you get into a system, how you scan a system ports, how you find out the vulnerabilities, how you access users' information. This is how a basic hack happens within the system. Okay, you cover your tracks, get out of there. You open the stuff in your host laptop. Make sure that there's no connection left between that host laptop and the attack laptop, and you get the user data. Okay, that's all. That's all about hacking as such. Okay, now let's go back to hack the box. Okay, or let's go back to the site. Now, the specific thing about hack the box is that I've told you guys there's going to be parts which you can follow, and these parts, if you follow, basically it'll make you a good hacker. Okay, it'll go from advanced to from beginner to advanced, so you don't have to worry to and you'll not be confused on the way, because it'll just go from a kiddie level to a advanced level. And whenever you feel stuck, don't worry. Okay, TryHackMe has made it convenient to open a walkthrough. So walkthrough is basically the room you're accessing. Okay, the theory that is being used. I'll just zoom this for you. There's a theory that is being used. Okay, the commands you'll be using, the diagram of what is going to happen in FTP. Okay, then the commands you're going to use. Okay, nmap sv target IP. Okay, Then basically what you have to download for the system. Okay. Then what you should do within the system. Okay. So everything is guided for you. The only thing is that you guys have to use your internet. Okay. Open cache the flag. If you're interested in cybersecurity after this, okay, open it, do it systematically, maybe 30 minutes a day. Okay, make it a leisure time. You'll have fun. Trust me, you'll have fun. If you love cybersecurity, you'll have fun. Okay, make it a leisure time. You can access, break into challenges. Okay, break into systems, and what you guys learn here is only for educational purposes. Don't use it for black hat hacking. I don't intend anyone to use this for black hat hacking. Okay, because sometimes it might get you into a lot of troubles. So whatever you do it responsibly. All right. So that's all with labs. And right now, I want to answer your doubts. Okay, just ask me questions like how to start your career in cybersecurity, what you should do for cybersecurity. Okay, this is a question answer session. That's all for the hacking rooms. Okay, now it's just a question answer session. Just let me know of what you want to know about hacking, like what you want to know about cybersecurity, how to start cybersecurity, what you should do to enter cybersecurity. Just ask me questions. Just unmute your mic if possible, please. And I'm ready to help. Okay. If anyone has questions, you can ask me right now. I know there's less people, and I put a session exactly in the Sunday evening when all of you are supposed to enjoy. But then if you guys have any doubt of how to get into cybersecurity, just let me know. Okay. By the way, this is how Kali actually looks like. Okay, this is how Kali Linux looks like. This is how VirtualBox also looks like. Okay, it is super easy to install, and I've actually sent you guys a video in your group. So using that video, you can actually set up Kali Linux. I would 100% recommend you guys to use Kali Linux only, because compared to other light versions called Parrot OS, I hope some of you tried out and checked in your research that there's an OS called Parrot OS. Parrot OS is basically a light version of Kali Linux. Okay, it's not that heavy as Kali Linux, but compared to Kali Linux, it contains a little bit of tools only. So if you want to like broaden your aspect of Kali, of hacking, I would recommend you use either Black Arch or Kali Linux. Black Arch, if you're like if you want your computer to be dedicated hacking server itself, but if you want it to be a system tools for hacking, I would recommend you guys to use Kali Linux. Now, when it comes to hacking, okay, in industry standards, okay, hacking is very important. Cybersecurity is very important, and cybersecurity as a freelancer, when you do all this, you become freelancers. Okay, when you start as cybersecurity in India, I know some of you will have the question that I usually get this question in LinkedIn, that how much will I earn as cybersecurity? In freelancing, if you freelance cybersecurity, it depends actually. If you're doing a small bug hunting, or if you're doing a small CTF, you might get over maybe a few $100, which is like 8,000 rupees. Okay, for each gig you do. I don't think some smaller companies may offer less than that, but bigger companies offer a price range of basic $100 to $500 of each gig you do. Each gig might last for, if it's a minor gig, it might last for 3 days. If you think in that logic, it will be like in 3 days you get $500, which is a good thing. But with increasing price, that means it's a bigger vulnerability. There's actually one side where you can do practice bug hunting. Like if you're done with Catch the Flags, if you're done with Try Hack Me and Hack the Box, basically you can be a professional freelancer. It's called HackerOne. I'll just show you guys what is HackerOne. Okay. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. HackerOne is a website which basically collabs with all the big companies in the world. If your company, if you can't if a company wants cheap labor in internet security or cybersecurity team, they usually put a contact in HackerOne, where hackers are given freelance jobs of going into a system like Snapchat. Recently, I went into a system called of Snapchat, Ruby Gems, and I did a few gigs in Apple. Okay, so these gigs may range around 500 to 1000. Okay, so HackerOne is a place where you can start your freelance. You can start going to systems, find out flaws within new features, and you can find bugs out of it. Okay, and everything's secure. Don't worry about it. The next thing which I would like to tell you guys is that when you get into jobs, okay, usually freelancers is not given like when you get into like companies like Cognizant, TCS. If you're passing out of companies, you might heard. If you're passing out of college, you might heard these companies like TCS, which is Data Consultancy Services, Cognizant, CTS, sorry. Then you have Infosys, Cisco. All these companies, they have smaller cybersecurity teams, okay? And these cybersecurity teams, basically, they choose people who have certifications. So there's two types of certifications, okay? I'll just show you one. There are two fields, okay, where you can go for. You can go for penetration testing or overall cybersecurity. Now, if you want to go for penetration testing, basically, you'll be breaking into systems, okay? You'll be like a red team person, red hat person, okay? You'll be breaking into systems, you'll be finding flaws, you'll be telling the person. That is the only job. But in cybersecurity, basically, if you do a cybersecurity certification, you'll be doing pen testing, plus you'll be doing auditing. That means you'll be rating the network in a company. Or you can be like an IoT technology. That means you can deal with security around smart devices, okay? Network security, application security, mobile security, hardware security. That means smart cars, how to coordinate hardware, okay? So all these come under cybersecurity certifications. And if you want to just basically focus on networking, network security, and penetration testing, there's another field, okay? So if you want to start, there's two fields, which is called, I hope my Brave browser is visible to you guys. One second. I'll just show you my entire Windows for see. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, firstly, there's a course called Oscp. Okay. This is for penetration testing by offensive security. Kali is developed by offensive security. Okay. So offensive security themselves, they offer a penetration testing course. This. So this is called the Oscp certification, offensive security certified penetration tester. Okay. This is just entry-level certification. If you want to go to cybersecurity, basically it's CEH, which I am accredited with. I am a CEH official. CEH is provided by the EC Council. So these are the entry-level cybersecurity certifications for getting into the cybersecurity field. Okay. CEH right now, I am CEH V11. Okay, which is a different framework. Right now, just last week, they introduced CEH V12. Okay, CEH V12 is completely different from CEH V11. CEH V11 had a theory exam and a practical exam, but CEH V12 is basically, while you're doing theory, you'll be doing practical. So for writing the CEH exam, any cybersecurity exam, it'll be kind of pricey, but trust me, the investment, if you decide to do the investment, okay, it'll be worth it. And you guys can actually forward this to me. Like you guys can ask me on Twitter, or you guys can ask me on LinkedIn. Okay, further about this information, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so you guys can start with CEH or an OSCP. Okay, when I meant OSSCP, it is basically what do you call offensive securities secure certified penetration tester. Okay, that's a different thing. And CEH is certified ethical hacker. So you will be a certified ethical hacker. You'll be working into a company's security team as a certified ethical hacker. So your job will be basically, you'll be a hacker, a legit white hat hacker for a company, which is a big deal. Like you'll have a badge, okay? Nobody can steal this for you. It's a license. Like how you have a driving license, it'll be your identity. It'll be a fire license, okay? You guys can have to renew your license. It will be a nominal fee. But you have to write an exam for both of these. Both these exams, if you write it, trust me, it is worth the money if you want to go ahead in cybersecurity. Okay? Now let's talk about some of the most important thing before I come to the session. Okay? People ask me, is cybersecurity in case of economical? I mean, is it worth the money? Will I get enough money? Okay. Personally, when I speak as a speaker for cybersecurity, it's out of passion. But in case of money, yes, you get good money. Okay. As a freelancer, compared to other freelancers, you will get above average pay. Okay. And with experience in a good company, okay, you will have a great amount of pay. In India, basically has a base pay of a cybersecurity engineer. It will go from 5 lakhs per annum to maybe a 12 lakh per annum job. Okay. If you're a CEH, that is your price pool. If you're a penetration tester, maybe 3 lakhs per annum to 8 lakhs per annum as a cybersecurity engineer. Now with after you get an Oscp or CEH certification, that's not the end goal. Okay, there are different other branches of certified ethical hacking. Okay, there is a thing called certified forensic investigator. Okay, I'll just show it to you. Certified forensic investigator. Okay, this is also given by the EC Council. This is CHA5, Computer Hacking Forensic Investigator. Basically, whenever a crime scene, so you will be part of the crime scene. You will be working with Kerala Police. I hope you guys have heard of something called the Cyberdome. Okay, Cyberdome basically is the cybersecurity team of the Kerala Police. Okay, it's an initiative of the Kerala Police to strengthen the cybersecurity community in Kerala. Okay, so when you have the CHFI, basically, if you're working for the military or if you're working for big companies, if any attack has happened, it's your responsibility to hack into systems. Okay, hack into the evidence, and you check out for missing emails. Okay, like whenever you check for cybersecurity, you've heard of cybersecurity cell, right? The cybersecurity cell, basically they have forensic investigators who open a website or who open the person's device. Okay, the crime scene evidence device. They find out deleted text. They find out what was the final location of the text and all. All these are done by the certified forensic investigator. Okay, that's a significant. Now, if you want to continue in OS, that means offensive security, penetration testing. Okay, penetration testing, you can go to another branch. There's a whole other branch for penetration testing. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Okay, is this boring or is it interesting? Because I'm talking about money right now. Informative. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, so the final goal of a certified ethical hacker is always to have the CISSP. Okay, CISSP is provided by the Information Security certification. Okay, it is ISC square. They offer this thing, which is the Certified Information System Security Professional. This can be attained after 5 to 8 years of experience in the cybersecurity field. And basically, whoever attains this, whoever passes this exam, basically will become the head of the cybersecurity team of any company. And after doing that, if you're in India, basically increases your basic pay from 32 LPA to 90 LPA. So that's a huge boost. Okay, that is by experience. I'm telling you, like within my field of IT security, a CISSP, like I have experience with people who have the CISSP certification, like my mentors and my seniors. It ranges from 32 lakhs per annum to 90 lakhs per annum currently. But then cybersecurity is a growing industry, so maybe in 10 years or so, it might be more. But if you go abroad, okay, if you go to Canada, if you go to the UK, if you go to the US, it's way more. Okay, if you're going to India, that is your base pay. Okay, if your base pay has a new fresher with a certified ethical hacking, this one certification is basically giving you 5 to 12 lakhs per annum. But has a certified ethical hacker in America or UK. Okay, as I've worked previous gigs there. Okay, I have done a few of my projects back in America. So in America, basically, some of them will give you like 100K, which is like 82 lakhs, around that ish. Okay, you'll get like around 30 lakhs per annum jobs for CEH. Okay, so you can see that difference. It's 10 times how much they pay you in India. Okay, So instead of 3 lakhs, they'll give you 32 lakhs or 30 lakhs. Okay. So that's all I have to say about the economy side of this one. Cybersecurity, like I've said, is very important for every company. Okay, you can't neglect cybersecurity as such. Right now, you might have heard that there's been a hack in Uber. Okay, that is the most famous hack. But the thing is that there's lots of hacks going on in India, which is not reported. But trust me, if you want to be updated with all this, okay, you guys can just go hit LinkedIn. Okay, if you go LinkedIn, basically you'll have news. Okay, just let me just load my LinkedIn account for you guys to see. I'll take time. That's weird. Okay. Okay, fine. It's loading very slowly. I don't know what's wrong with my net today. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so I write blogs for the cybersecurity community. Okay, I write blogs for the black hatting community. I have a personal blog also where I write like walkthroughs of rooms. I write new technologies. I write news articles of cybersecurity. So basically, you will have a huge hacking community for cybersecurity. This is my LinkedIn. Basically, that's a random meme, but basically that's all. Like, if you get yourself engaged in the cybersecurity community, there's going to be a lot of people that will help you. Okay, there's lots of rooms in Discord. There's lots of rooms in Telegram. Telegram is your best friend when it comes to hacking. Okay, then LinkedIn is important for you. Then if you want to start as a freelancer, HackerOne is important for you. Make sure that you are updated with Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, Burp Suit. Okay, these are all things you will pass through when you go through HackerRank and what do you call it? HackerRank and Hack the Box. Make sure in cybersecurity you keep on learning. Okay, as I told you the first slide before, the thing that draws a cybersecurity or a white hat hacker is the will to keep learning. Okay, whenever you see a new term, always remember, be curious, keep researching. Google is your best friend when it comes to cybersecurity. Okay, and the last message I can tell you guys is always stay secure. Okay, don't ever fall for cybersecurity threats. Okay, always keep your data secure and always teach others to protect their cybersecurity. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Handing it over to EETIC. Thank you.
So guys, if you have any doubts, please put it up on the chat box.
Doesn't need a lot of experience to be hired into a private company for cybersecurity job. So for a fresher, is it worth it? See, all of us start small. Okay, not all of us will be like a pakka cybersecurity person. Okay, you have to start small. That means you'll be either in the IT desk. Okay, in the IT desk you'll be solving basic network problems, like maybe if a server is down, that'll be your work. The thing is that doesn't need a lot. Okay, for a private company, HackerOne is an open source. Okay, anyone can access the files. Anyone can access the HackerOne accounts. Anyone can have access, because basically in HackerOne, these companies provide you a copy. So whatever you do to the copy of the website will not affect the actual website. So don't worry. Okay, you don't need a lot of experience to be hired as a freelancer. You can just start it. But the thing is that when you work as a freelancer, you have to do your research. Okay, use Google. Make sure you are updated with the frameworks. Okay, make sure you keep on scanning. Okay, as I told you, scanning is the most essential tool when it comes to hacking a system. Okay, and trust me, it's worth it. If you spend your time and energy in learning at least 30 minutes every day, and if you spend your money for investing in projects, trust me, it is worth it. Cybersecurity is worth it. I might be overhyping this, but trust me, if you love cybersecurity, it is worth it. Any other question is there? Also, I'll be adding my social account. Okay, you guys can text me anytime, because LinkedIn is basically my Instagram. I have a personal Instagram, but then for privacy reasons, I won't share it. But LinkedIn is my Instagram. Okay, text me anytime, and I'll make sure that I answer it as soon as possible. Okay, I'll be adding my LinkedIn. Then what else? In my LinkedIn, you'll basically see my GitHub. Okay, another thing, GitHub is also important. You'll be like, okay, fine. GitHub is basically for software developers in open source. But in hacking, you will, when you get into actual like companies and all, you can't always rely on using other person's tools. Okay, you'll be a script kiddie. You'll need to like at some point of time when you go into advanced hacking, you will need to make your own tools, because sometimes a person can post a tool which can actually break into the privacy of a company. So you can't always trust the tools you use. So it's better to make your own custom tools which you have 100% trust on. So that's all for this one, tools wise. And then when it comes to programming, has anyone had the doubt of what programming you should learn for getting into hacking? So basically, programming wise, I'm just telling you the basic FAQs of what people usually ask me. So programming wise, it is advisable for people to learn Python. Okay, Python is a minor requirement. Java is a important requirement because a lot of companies require Java. You'll be like, okay, fine, Java, Python is the new trend, but trust me, all companies are following the old trend, which is Java. So you should understand how a website works, and you can only understand how a website works if you know Java. Okay. Then MySQL, to understand how a database works. There will be MySQL queries. That is DBMS, DDL, DCL, DML. Okay, those languages you should know. That's all basic things like create, insert, select, join, all those queries. Then Java is there, MySQL is there. That's all. That's all you need to know. Python, Java is Java, and MySQL for getting started. Then if you're getting more curious, then if you, like I told you, cybersecurity requires you to learn a lot of things. Okay, and if you have the intention to learn, only you will have growth in cybersecurity. You have to keep on learning as long as you go 20 years, 21 years. Maybe you will have to keep on learning. But the same way, your growth also increases. So does the money. And like I've told you guys, money is not all the only thing that is required, but money will come. It's a bonus. Like whenever you spend like months for finding a bug, or when you're finding a flag, that last final happiness you get of finding that flag, okay, that happiness of putting that hard work and getting it will actually be more satisfiable. Okay, the money is just a bonus, and trust me, whatever money and time you invest in cybersecurity, truthfully, you should be truthful to yourself. Okay, truthfully, if you spend the time and money, trust me, it is worth it. Any other questions is there? Like type fast. Okay, cybersecurity also requires you to type fast. Okay, it's kind of a myth when they say that cybersecurity people intend to type fast. Okay, you should have a fast typing speed, but it is better if you have a fast typing speed. Okay, like you have to practice. So it comes with practice. Don't worry about typing speed. If people tell you that typing speed is important in cybersecurity, that is one of the myths. Okay, without programming also you can go ahead in cybersecurity, but just that sometimes you require to make your own tools, and for that purpose only you need to learn you need to learn programming languages. Okay, anything else, you guys can unmute your mic. Okay, I won't judge you guys by your voice. Is there anything there?
I hope no one is having any doubts.
Yeah.
So we come to the end of the 3-day long webinar series on cybersecurity. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our guest speakers, Lady George, for his efforts. Thank you for sparing your valuable time with us and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you so much.
It was a really informative session, and we know that every end is a new beginning, and I hope every one of you will kickstart your journey in cybersecurity. And if you have any doubts, you can refer our YouTube channel. The recorded videos of the 3 days will be posted over there. And we have a feedback form in our chat box. We always appreciate your feedbacks. Thank you.